What's up, guys? How are we doing? Happy Monday. Chuck and Smitty here with Occupy Fantasy to bring you strategy for DraftKings and FanDuel. Smitty, how are we doing? Cute little seven gamer today.
Yeah, nice to have a pretty decent sized slate with some good game environments on it. So ready to break this one down.
Nice. And just a couple of injury notes. Jalen Suggs is doubtful, and I guess Jeremy Grant recently got downgraded to doubtful, so we're going to assume that they're out. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Duren, Klay Thompson are probable, and then Cooper Flag, Peyton Watson, Jordan Walsh, Max Christie, Tristan Da Silva, and Aaron Wiggins are questionable. I think of those guys, Cooper Flag's going to matter the most. But Peyton Watson might be interesting too. We'll take a look at that when we get to Denver. Any notes on that before we get started?
Yeah, I think the Watson one's pretty important too. And then the Wiggins is pretty important just because OKC's already pretty short-handed. Plus of the spread in that game makes it pretty interesting for some of the other guys.
Nice. Heath, happy to see you. How you doing, man? Early bird gets the worm. So, excuse me. Start with the Hornets and my boy, rookie of the year, Con Knipple, hopeful. Rookie of the year, hopeful anyway. Lamelo's looking better. Brandon Miller's looking fine. Few pieces I'm interested in here. What are you looking at?
Yeah. So first off, we have Calc out, which is kind of big. It means Diabate should start, is what they normally do. Plumlee probably play some of the backup minutes along. They might even go Miles Bridges at some 5 minutes, but overall, Diabate looks like a solid option, assuming he starts. And then I think one of like Ball, Miller, Khan are fine to mix in as GPP plays. I don't see any as priorities, but I'm fine with either one of them three.
Yeah, I'm not getting too much of those guys right now on DraftKings. I mentioned them because I think they're pretty interesting as GPP plays, just getting a few percent. No one's really playing them anyway. And then Diabate, I didn't get that much right now, assuming he's starting. But if he does end up starting, you're going to go pretty hard on him.
Yeah, I'll have quite a bit. On DraftKings, I had quite a bit. I was over the field, FanDuel, around the field on FanDuel.
So we saw this. Maybe it was already a few weeks ago now, where everyone expected Diabate to start. He was chalk, and then we got Mason Plumlee starting, and he came in at like less than 1% owned. Diabate still came in as chalk. If we saw that situation today, I think we should be interested in Mason Plumlee at the flat min on DK.
Yeah.
And then if Diabate's off the bench, how much of him are you going to still be interested in? We haven't projected for 26 right now. I could still see him hitting that off the bench.
Yeah, I think it's still a spot where they might want to keep their rotation similar, but change it where Plumlee is starting. But I would think Diabate still closes, so I still think he's fine, even off the bench. Maybe not 41% on FanDuel, but
Yeah,
maybe 25-30% still good.
nice. Jose, where's everybody at? Yeah, man, that's what I'm wondering. I know it's Christmas week, and Smitty and I will be here for a Christmas stream. It won't be live. We're going to pre-record it on Christmas Eve, but we will have the info because, as we all know, the Christmas NBA slate is the best slate of the year. Better than the NFL one this year, anyway. Other side of this game, Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell is probable. So we're going to assume he's in. We saw Darius go off in his absence last time. We have Darius at 32 minutes, and he's projected for really strong value, as is Donovan Mitchell. And Jared Allen is still showing up really strongly with Evan Mobley out. Well, let's talk about the guards first. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. What's your interest?
Yeah, have a little bit of interest in Donovan. There's a lot of good guards on this slate, so it's hard to call him a priority by any means, but it's a pretty good matchup, and they just need people to score. So, like guys like Garland and Mitchell, they kind of just have to score with this lineup they have out there. So, I think they're both pretty interesting. Currently underweight on Garland on FanDuel. I'm around the field on DraftKings, and then Donovan Mitchell, I'm pretty underweight on both sites, but I still think he's a good option. I just kind of prefer some other pieces.
That's about where I'm at right now. Maybe that'll change as I make other adjustments, but I'm not getting to too much Donovan and Darius. I'm just under the field on them. And I had to bump up Jared Allen. I've noticed that I'm pretty sure the industry is like way under projecting him every game. He's been smashing the last few games, and he's staying in this low 30 fantasy point projection. And I just kind of think it's wrong. And so Jared Allen at his ownership today. I think he's a really interesting piece as long as Evan Mobley's out. The problem is his minutes are still not very secure, but hitting 28 and 30 is actually really good for Jared Allen.
Yeah, I agree. Allen is the Cav I'm getting to the most on FanDuel.
Nice.
DraftKings, not too much just because he's center only, but FanDuel, I think he's a really good play.
Yeah, it's he's only projected for 5% ownership. He is 23 over on FanDuel because of that power forward eligibility, but I definitely think he's worth taking shots on. And this is definitely the highest that the models ranked him the past few days with Mobley out. We haven't seen these value scores from him, so these are the spots that I'd want to lean into. Were you looking at anyone else, Jalen Tyson or Dean Wade, DeAndre Hunter?
No, not really anybody else.
Okay, nice. Luke, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Jose's asking when was Diabate in a winning lineup when he's gotten the start.
He has a few times.
Yeah, it was. I think Smitty and I were talking about this not too long ago. How many times is there like this mega value that pops up? We jam in a bunch of them, and then it's really only worked out a couple of times. Most of the time, it hasn't for us.
Yep.
Next game, we'll do Pacers and Celtics. Let's talk about the Indiana side first. So we have a 12-point spread, not quite in blowout territory, so I'm not too worried about that. I do like a few of the Boston pieces. Not getting to too much on Indiana. Andrew Nemhard is pretty much the only guy that makes it in my exposures these days. I have interest in Jay Huff now that his price came down a little bit, but Isaiah Jackson is lurking. So what do you want to do with this team?
Yeah, really nothing. I'd be fine if I got to no pieces in this game. Nimhard, I think, is fine on DraftKings. Probably the only one I really mix in. They just run a big rotation, so it's hard to have a lot of interest in any of these guys. Even with Quentin Jackson starting, I think last game he only played like 17, 18 minutes. TJ McConnell's out, but they just have so many guys. It's not really very appealing.
Yeah, I think it's not terrible to get away from this team anyway. 227 total isn't great, and I don't think anyone's price stands out. I mean, Matherin is kind of always a GPP play, so I don't mind getting over the field on him when no one's paying attention to him, even though the model isn't really too fond of him today.
Yeah.
On Boston, I'm going to be interested in Jalen Brown, I think, every single day. The field doesn't really want to get there. His price is high, but he's been performing. I know Derek White is the one that really went off in the last game. He's coming in for pretty low ownership, too. It is kind of hard to get over the field on these guys, but I did barely get over on Derek White and Jalen Brown on DraftKings. What about you?
Yep. I think Jalen Brown's a pretty good play. Not the best total in this game, but he kind of just does it all for this team. So have interest there.
Yeah, I'm at 15% on both of those guys right now, which feels pretty comfortable. Derek White, maybe that drops slightly, but Jalen Brown, I'm okay just being slightly over the field. What about I'm gonna call them secondary guys now. Peyton Pritchard and Nemius Queta. Are you getting there?
Not Kada, no. Not too much interest in this one. But I do have some interest in Pritchard. Pretty reasonable price, and if he gets hot, he can break any slate. So I do want to mix him in.
Did you get Cicada on FanDuel?
No, I X'd him out.
Oh, okay. I think I'd be okay with a few percentage of him over on FanDuel specifically. I got 0% in my DraftKings run right now, so I'm not sure I get to him there. Center is kind of a valuable spot tonight, but I feel like he's mostly always okay as a GPP play when he's in this mid 5K price range.
Yeah.
Anything else on this team? Anthony Simons pulling a little bit of ownership today.
I don't know. Jordan Walsh is out, so there is some minutes to go around, but I can't say I have much confidence in anybody. Hugo Gonzalez has been playing more recently. Who knows if that actually sticks? Missoula just changes things. He just throws it at the wall. But I do think at 0% ownership, he's worth mixing in on DraftKings.
I didn't realize Jordan Walsh was out. That's a good note because now I'm looking at the top value on this team according to the model, and that's Josh Minot, projected for 3 and 4% ownership. Remember, he went off like once, and then we played him for the next 2 weeks, and he never did it again. Well,
Yep.
we only have him projected for 19 and a half minutes. I'm not even confident he's been seeing that. But with Jordan Walsh out of the rotation today, this could be an opportunity for him to pick up a few more minutes. I mean, I think the 19 is probably a reasonable projection. If maybe he has the potential to hit 23, maybe if he's playing really well, he can hit 27. But this is a player I'd like to get over the field on because if he goes off today, Jordan Walsh misses the next game, he's going to be chalk on the next slate.
Yep. Yeah, and they need someone to guard Siakam, so I do think his minutes are pretty secure.
I like that. Even you think he starts? You think he draws a start?
They either go with him or Hugo, I think, but who
Okay.
knows? It might be Sam Hauser or Baylor Shireman, something.
This is the second game, so we're gonna get that starting lineup as soon as this slate locks. I think I might plan to play a little bit more minnow, but I don't. It's not really going to matter. We're not getting too many pieces from the first game, so most of our lineup should be pretty clean to swap them in anyway.
Yep.
For Dallas, Cooper Flag being out would be kind of a big deal. If Cooper Flag is in, do these ownerships kind of make sense to you?
Yeah, kind of. I think they're pretty good. Flag Davis. Yeah, I would say they're pretty good. I like this game quite a bit. Uh, should be very minimal defense played. All the prices are pretty reasonable on both sides, so I do think it's a pretty good team to get into.
Sorry about that, guys. I didn't notice the names weren't showing on the screen. You guys can tell me. I'll fix it. But So what if Cooper Flag gets ruled out? I think I'm going to be interested in PJ Washington first and foremost, and then I'm sure Najee's going to pop for me, and maybe I'd get to a little bit more Anthony Davis, depending what other value we find.
Yeah, exactly the same. I also think, in a way, it kind of benefits Brandon Williams, who I kind of already like. Only 4K on DraftKings. FanDuel's a little tougher to get there, but kind of opens more minutes. Christie, last I seen, was also questionable. Which, if they're both out, then it's kind of wide open. So I do think Dallas is a team we want to get to. Just kind of depends who when we get that news.
Yeah, Brandon Williams seems like he might fly under the radar. Did we already abandon our boy Ryan Nemhard?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, they're probably both fine to take shots on that. Nemhard price is appealing. Brandon Williams has been pretty good. If Flag is out, probably okay taking shots on both. Model right now slightly prefers Nemhard, but we'll see how those minutes shake out if we get that Flag news.
Yeah,
HV Cards, thanks for being here. I don't know if I said what's up to you already. Appreciate the regulars saying what's up. We like to know that you guys are here. Does Hauser get a boost with Walsh out? I think so. That's what you mentioned, right?
yeah, he should see a minutes boost at least.
He will get the opportunity to get a minutes boost, and
Yeah,
if he's playing well, he'll keep him. Maybe I got to think the situation is very fluid. Whoever's helping him win the game is going to stay on the court. So if Sam Hauser comes in and hits his first two threes, yeah, he's probably going to play a lot of minutes. If he doesn't, then he's not going to. We'll go to the New Orleans side, dude. These guys have been winning games. Pelicans, man.
they're favorites.
Yeah, I don't. I saw this yesterday and I could not believe that. It makes me want to bet on Dallas, but it also makes me think Pelicans cover um,
Yeah,
when I see lines that I think are the opposite. But not really pulling any ownership here. I love that Trey Murphy price and ownership on DraftKings model is giving us him as a pretty okay value to get to in the mid range. Fears and Herbert Jones showing up as strong values on DraftKings. Derek Queen, his price is getting to that point where we can't just jam him in every day. But if we get a few percent, I'm okay with it, especially with Zion coming off the bench now.
yeah. I like Queen more on FanDuel where you get the power forward, but his price is reasonable on DraftKings, so he's someone I don't mind getting a little over the field on. He's only 2%. You mentioned Murphy and Fears; those are the two I'm getting to the most. Jordan Poole, I think, is at least worth a mention. He's in play as well as Herb Jones. Left last game early, but he was kind of smashing before he left. So I don't mind mixing some of these guys in, but I don't see any as like priority plays.
When I was putting in my pickums earlier, Jordan Poole under 22 and a half points, rebounds, assists was popping as like the best option. And it's so uncomfortable because I kind of like Jordan Poole. I took it a little bit, not as much as I would for being, the best play of the day, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, he's got that GPP potential. So, and he's does not mind shooting the rock. Me and my buddy were looking at his shooting percentages the other night. He's shooting like awful. I wish they showed here because like this doesn't look that bad. 17 points per game, but he's probably taking. I don't know. His field goal percentage is really bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jazz Nuggets. So the Jazz have been like my favorite team lately because around the industry they are not projecting Keontae George correctly. This guy's usage is through the roof right now. He's very good. Most improved player in the NBA candidate. Probably should be the one. The only drawback is the model is not identifying him as a value on DraftKings. On FanDuel, the 8,900 is a bit of a price jump, but at 1%, dude, I'm taking the shot. 8,200 at 5%, even better. I'll be over the field on Keontae George is one of my pay up GPP plays today.
Yeah, I've been riding Keontae too. Even priced up on FanDuel, I still think he's in play at
Hmm.
1%. Keontae looks good. Collier's been playing a lot of minutes on DraftKings. They haven't priced him up, so I do like him there. FanDuel probably out of play at almost 6K, but on DraftKings, I think he looks good. They do get Laurie back. I think he's fine to play, but I prefer just playing Keontae.
Laurie's actually giving us, or the model is actually giving us Laurie as a better points per dollar play on both sites versus Keontae, second best, third best on the team after a couple of the other guards. But I like getting to Laurie tonight at 8 and 9%. As long as he's around this 8K price, I'll play him against anyone. And we have a 13.5 point spread. There's some blowout risk, but I'm going to take the low ownership and hope that it stays close.
Yep.
With Collier, he is showing up at 17% ownership, but he's model approved. I mean, it sounds high, but I don't think it's absurd. I'm not quite at 17% in my current run, but maybe I have a more of a need for value by the time this game comes up. So maybe I swap onto him. And then GPP shots on Nurkic, Svi, and Ace Bailey. I haven't really understood why his projection is so good around the industry because he's been kind of chalky. Today, he's not. Models giving us his good value. I have not been wanting to play him when the field's on him, but I'm actually okay getting to him today.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Just pull up his player card because the minutes have been there for Ace. He's had opportunities to close. As long as he gets over 30 minutes, we haven't projected for 29. So if he gets an extra two or three at this 5,300 price, we just have to hope that he can hit a ceiling finally because he's not really doing it.
Yeah.
We'll go to the other side of this game. Denver, love Jokic tonight. I have him projected like higher than everybody else, obviously. See how much I got though. I don't know if I found the value to fit him in very easily though. Oh, never mind. I have a ton of Jokic. He's my highest owned player.
On
Him,
DraftKings.
Jamal, yeah, on DraftKings. Him, Jamal, Cameron Johnson are all showing up a lot for me right now. What do you want to do there?
Yeah, I'm getting to a lot of them. I do like Jokic. I think he's a good play. FanDuel, I'm kind of around the field just because you only get one center. There's some good value plays at center. But on DraftKings, he only comes in 34% off, pretty close to double of him currently. I do think Cam Johnson's pretty good. Even better if Peyton Watson's out. But yeah, a good matchup for Watson for threes. And then Jamal Murray, I do think's a good play. And if you are fading Jokic or not playing Jokic, I do think it's smart to have Jamal Murray, unless you're just playing for a total blowout. But Murray's in a good spot as well as Jokic.
Yeah, I have both of those guys projected so strongly today. And then I actually have a bunch of Peyton Watson still right now on DraftKings. I'm over the 6%. If he ends up playing, I'm going to keep it. If he ends up ruled out, I'm kind of uncomfortable bumping Cameron Johnson anymore. The model is telling us he's one of the top values of the day, though. This price seems fine. It's probably his appropriate price. He's been underperforming. But Spencer Jones, I think maybe might be a candidate to get increased usage with Peyton Watson out. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Don't mind him or THJ.
THJ, he's been like super consistent, hasn't he?
Yeah, it kind of fell off the past couple games, but
Yeah,
the
before
minutes have been there.
yeah, he's getting the opportunity. Maybe he can get a little bit hot. I mean, he hasn't exactly had a really good shooting night in a long time. Seven for
No.
11. That was almost a month ago already. Yeah, we're gonna like that spot too, especially if Peyton Watson gets rolled out. Anything else here on the Nuggets?
No.
Go to the other side, Utah. Oh, we talked about Utah.
Yeah.
Nice. Next game. Couple more games. Grizzlies Thunder. On the Grizzlies, I have interest in Cam Spencer, and that's about it. Isn't that wild how that works?
Yep. Yeah, I have a ton of, or not, I say a ton, but I have a lot of Cam Spencer and pretty much nobody else. I do think you could take a shot on like Aldama or Jaren Jackson Jr., but it's mainly just Cam Spencer.
Aldama's the only other player I got any exposure to. I will throw out Cedric Coward's name, and I keep calling him Colin Coward on the stream. I don't catch it till after, but Cedric Coward, he's just shown that he has kind of a ceiling. Now, OKC is not the team you want to target that against, but I don't mind getting a couple percent if no one else is. 16-point spread, so we are in blowout territory.
The only other name I really care to mention is Jock Landale, especially
Nice.
on FanDuel where he's a little cheaper. They have no Edie now; they have no Clark, and OKC is not the same OKC today. I mean, they're still good, but they don't have Chet, Hartenstein, or the other Jalen Williams. So he'll be going against like Brandon Carlson and Kenrich Williams. So I think he's interesting.
Yeah, the 5,500 price is uncomfortable, and he probably is going to fail a lot of the time. But when he succeeds, it helps you in a tournament. So don't ever expect this 46.5 to happen again. But like a 30.5 could be okay. I mean, I guess he did put up 44 a month ago, but there was someone else here. Nope, we're good on Memphis. Let's go to the OKC side. What are you looking at with them being large favorites?
Yeah, I do think the Aaron Wiggins news is pretty important. The model really likes SGA, and even though they're pretty large favorites, I'm overweight on SGA on both sides. I think he's a good play. Um, and then also too is it like planning with a lot of SGA. It kind of opens up my lineups where I have salary to play with, depending on what happens on a lot of this late news. So I like that idea. Carlson, I expect to probably start at center unless they start Kenrich, but kind of think they just run Carlson. They like him. Mark likes him quite a bit. So I do think he starts. I think he looks like a pretty good center value, especially on DraftKings. FanDuel, he's in play. But yeah, pretty much this whole team, I'm getting to quite a bit of them.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get to these value plays too. Kenrich, it's gross, but I'm well over this 30% right now. Maybe I adjust that. It's just the model's telling us he's the top value of the day. He's 3,200. It might be a mistake to try to get away from him when whatever optimizer user you're using is probably jamming him in. And then Brandon Carlson, I gotta think he starts here. 26% ownership. He's going to come in higher than that if he starts, but I think it's fine. I have a ton of him.
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of him. Min price, it's hard for him to really hurt you. Like, I don't know if he'll win you a tournament, but it's hard for him to hurt you. And then we have these other guys like I do think AJ Mitchell is really interesting on both sides.
Yep.
The field's kind of there, but not as much as they should be, in my opinion. They're pretty thin, especially if Wiggins is out. So I do have a lot of interest in Mitchell. And then the Jalen Williams, not the big Jalen Williams. I am getting there. He hasn't really done it yet this season, but maybe shorthanded. Maybe he'll play some backup 5 minutes. So I have some interest there too.
That's my problem with Jalen Williams is the ceiling hasn't been flashed yet. The minutes projection is not going to be great, so he really has to overperform in his minutes. Like he's been pretty good at getting close to 40, if I'm not mistaken, but
Yeah.
40 is unlikely to really help us tonight. I mean, it's not going to hurt us. We're not going to be terribly disappointed, but yeah, this isn't going to cut it. Even like we're hoping he puts up 45 at 8,100. It's not the greatest, so I actually
Yeah.
don't mind getting away completely at this ownership.
Yeah.
Really like AJ Mitchell. I'm always down to take GPP shots on them, especially when they're short, because I don't think the industry projects them correctly. And then
Am I frozen? Can't tell if I'm frozen or Chuck froze.
I want to make sure we mention K.
Okay, Chuck froze. Okay.
All right. Yep, we're back.
I was about to log on my phone and see if it was you or me. I couldn't tell.
Yep. Nope. It was me. Not sure where I cut out, but we closed out the Thunder. You guys heard me say, don't forget about Kason Wallace.
Yep.
Okay. Orlando. I mean, the first player I noticed was Wendell Carter at 12.1%. Are we going to let him do it to us again tonight? The model's telling us he's a really good value and he's under owned.
Yeah, I don't mind getting to some of them. It's tough because he's center only. FanDuel not really in play for me at his price, but DraftKings I think he's fine to mix in.
What about the rest of this team? Tristan Da Silva was questionable.
Yeah, if De Silva plays, I do think he's kind of an under-owned value play on DraftKings. FanDuel, the ownership's kind of there. He's fine. But to me, Palo is the one I'm getting to the most, especially on FanDuel. Or not FanDuel, DraftKings. FanDuel, probably not. But I'm getting to a lot of him on DraftKings. I think he's really too cheap there. Jammed him in last slate. He just continues to do it. They're just playing heavy minutes. And in a game that I expect to be pretty close, even as 6.5 point favorites, I like him. Anthony Black's been getting the minutes. No Suggs should continue to get the minutes, so I think he's good. Bane's fine, kind of priced up now. The minutes have been there, and he don't really have the ceiling I don't think you need on this slate, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, with Paolo and it's a little different, even with Franz still out. Desmond Bain, I don't think the models really liked him all season, so his ownership's not too bad. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
Paolo, did Paolo win you a tournament? Forgot to mention that. Smitty's been
yeah,
kind of on a heater recently.
yeah. Palo, he won me. It might have been back-to-back nights or something. I don't know. I know I've played a lot of Palo recently.
Yeah, Paolo. I don't know if it was people were because remember he came back and he was kind of on a minutes restriction, so I kind of thought he was unplayable. I don't know if people have realized that the minutes restriction is kind of like is it completely gone or it's enough that we don't really care since he's under 9K now? Yeah, the minutes
Yeah, it's
restriction is
gone.
gone,
Yeah,
so he has the
that's what I'm saying.
potential to.
They've been playing a ton of minutes.
Did the Orlando Utah game go to overtime? It did, right? And
I think
Bain hit
that
the game winner. Okay.
Yeah,
So maybe 42 is high, but I mean, if we're getting upper 30s, we have him for 35. Add 3 minutes to that. I think he's going to look pretty good.
yep.
Um, anything else here?
No.
Golden State, wearing my Warriors hat tonight. Big fan of Steph Curry. He's projected for 10 and 8% ownership at 9K. Model doesn't love him. OF index is pretty good. Value is not. Got a couple other pieces on this team, but what were you looking at?
Yeah, I do think Steph's a good GPP play. Kind of been under projected pretty much all season. So when he's healthy, I like to play him. Jimmy, I'm getting to quite a bit on FanDuel, just under 8K. I think he's always in play. Kind of similar to Bane. Like we've only seen that ceiling a few times this year, so I'd be comfortable getting under the 34%, but I still do want some Jimmy. But yeah, it's him and Curry. Draymond's kind of just a filler play to me. But other than that, I don't have a ton of interest.
It's interesting that a difference from DraftKings to FanDuel for Jimmy Butler. I didn't build FanDuel lineups at all today. I just have to assume the position's kind of tough.
Yeah, and he pops really hard there.
Okay. Jose had a question in here. What positions do we want to prioritize today? Guards, centers, or forwards?
Center.
Center. Yeah, I think center is probably the most valuable position today.
At least with the current news, yeah.
Okay, nice. Smitty, the quiet assassin. Dude, this dude just ships. I don't know. Like, go check the leaderboards, and I don't know, his name's up there a lot. Last game of the night, got through it pretty quick today. We are going to get out of here a few minutes early, so we're about to wrap this up. But Pistons at Trailblazers. We'll talk about the Pistons side first. Jalen Duren's supposed to be in. Cade Cunningham's projected for some. I mean, this isn't high, it's not low. Probably appropriate ownership, but I kind of love him tonight. And then Tobias Harris. This guy has been showing up in my exposures every single day because his price is whatever. But he has not shown any kind of ceiling, so that's a that's a spot I'm trying to get away from.
Yeah, I remember saying it last stream. Is like, can they just price him up? Like under 5K is just stupid for the amount of minutes he plays and his role on the team. So it's tough. Like he projects as a good play, like a median play, but he's only done it a few times. Asar to me is kind of the more scary fade because he's one that can go out and put up 40, where Tobias is kind of more rare to do that. But I've been doing max one of them and then kind of limited my exposure there, just because I don't see both of them getting there with Cade on the team. But I think they're okay to mix in for now. To me, they're kind of placeholders to where I can swap onto other good value plays and not force myself into other stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to set that rule too. Max one of Asur and Tobias. I got double digit exposure to both of them, so I just want to make sure I don't look at my best lineup and it has both of these fine guys. Um, they're fine players. It just they're going to fail a lot of the time, and then is their ceiling really what we hope it to be? I'm not sure. Actually, really hard to fit in Kid Cunningham. Didn't get that much over on DK. I have to bump him up or find another value play to get there.
Yeah, I bumped him pretty decently, and I couldn't even really get to the field. Like I feel like I'd have to do a little bit more. One other player that's showing up here for me, is, well, I guess two, is a little bit of Duran, and then Isaiah Stewart, power forward eligible, probably a little too cheap in a good up tempo matchup. He does it every once in a while, so I don't mind mixing him in at least.
Yeah, similar to the other guys I've talked about. I mean, Isaiah Stewart, we don't mind taking shots when he's cheap and under 10% owned.
Yep,
I thought you were going to say Karis LeVert. I got a few percentage of him. I
I
guess
do too. Yeah,
okay.
but
Shooting guard, small forward. He fills a position that we need. He's cheap. He's been okay. Minutes have been okay.
yeah,
And the last game or last team of the night, Portland. So we're gonna assume that oh, we already have him out. Nice. Jeremy Grant is out. Um, I got a bunch of Shade and Sharp. I want to get more Denny. It's really hard though. What are you looking at?
yeah. I love Shaden Sharp. The minutes have been there. That's pretty much his concern. And with no Jeremy Grant out there, just extra shots to go around. Whether he hits them, I don't know, but I like him. When Jeremy Grant's out, I also like Klingon more, just a better chance of him closing. So I do like him quite a bit. And Denny, I think, is fine. He's kind of tough to get to as well. It's basically like, do you want Denny or Jalen Brown, which I think they're both good. But yeah, I think Shaden Sharp's my favorite play here, though.
Yeah, I like the GPP shots on Klingon, and then actually, again, need for value. Chris Murray has flashed a ceiling. Model thinks he's a really strong value at 1 and 8%. I think that's a spot that we can get to a little more than the field as well, especially on FanDuel. Model loves him on FanDuel.
Yeah, their depth is just not very good. So he's going to play minutes. So I do have interest too.
Should we plug him into the dummy?
Yeah, we can.
Who else are your first guys in today?
Oh, man. Let's see. Probably either Diabate or Carlson, or we
We'll
could
do
just
we'll do Carlson.
do both.
Yeah, we'll do Carlson. He's shown he's a pretty strong fantasy producer. I don't like putting the expensive guys in first, but my next guy in would be Jokic.
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's try it. I think we have enough
Um,
weird value.
Probably Kenrich.
Kenrich, Cam Spencer, dude. This is weird.
Yeah.
Cam Spencer, the player that we're targeting on the Grizzlies when everyone's out. Who would have thought?
We could go Palo.
Paolo, nice. Dude, how much salary do we have? We still have 6K per player. It's kind of insane. The power of the min priced punts. They're not even punts. They're going to get minutes tonight.
And I would like to get, well, it's kind of more GPP. I was going to say AJ Mitchell, but
Let's try it.
does he have shooting guard?
Yeah,
No.
he has shoot. Oh no, he has regular guard. So we need a shooting guard for 7,100. Is there one? Con Knipple is another GPP play at 7K. Maybe you don't have to do both though.
Sharp, I think. Could we have fit Shaden?
Oh yeah, let's get Sharp in there. 7,300, and then at the guard that leaves us 4,700. I'm sure there's a value play. Yep, Jeremiah Fears was showing up strongly on the model. I think that's how I would finish this lineup out.
Yeah.
I want to mention I really like Steph. If you can find a way to get in Steph, I think it's possible if you downgrade Cam Spencer, take out Sharp, take out Fierce, you can fit in Steph and keep Paolo and Jokic in there. That's one angle I would like to hit. And Keontae too. Keontae and Steph are two
Yeah.
guys you want to make sure you get. And Jamal, obviously, even better if you don't have Jokic. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to? Oh, go ahead.
No, I kind of set, I'm taking a little more risk there. I'm doing max one of Jokic and Jamal, just trying to mix it up more. Like with the 13-point spread, I don't know if they both get there to Jokic's actual ceiling.
That
But
sounds good to
it's
me.
more, it's kind of risky.
This is one option too. Collier, who's kind of a chalk value. I think he's fine at 4,200. And if you remember earlier in the season, I'm a big fan of Collier overall. Just needs the minutes and then close it out with Cam Johnson. Fit Steph Curry in there.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So we appreciate you guys. We got Jayhawk in the Discord. That'll start in about 10 minutes. So make sure you guys hop in there. Instructions in the description below.